Imagine this. You're in your everyday routine, doing what you've always done, going where you've always gone, and suddenly something happens that shakes your whole world. That was Zachariah. Zachariah was an older priest, a faithful man, the kind who didn't chase attention, didn't look for miracles, just served God quietly year after year. But underneath that steady life was a long-standing ache. He and his wife Elizabeth had no children, and by now they were far past the age of hoping. One day, Zachariah was chosen to enter the temple and burn incense, an honor only a few priests ever experienced in their lifetime. Picture the room, dim light, rising smoke, sacred silence. Zachariah steps inside alone, or so he thinks. Then he sees someone standing to the right of the altar. Not a shadow, not a figure he imagined, an actual being. It's the angel Gabriel. Zachariah freezes. His heart probably slams into his chest, and Gabriel speaks with this calm, steady confidence. Don't be afraid. Your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth is going to have a son. For a moment, everything in Zachariah's life, all the years of praying, waiting, and quietly hurting, rush back to the surface. And here's where the story becomes deeply human, because Zachariah doesn't shout for joy. He doesn't fall to the floor overwhelmed. Instead, he doubts. He whispers back, "How can this be? I'm old. My wife is old." In other words, this isn't how life works anymore. I want to believe, but it feels impossible. And who can blame him? Hope is heavy when you've carried disappointment for years. Sometimes the longer you wait, the harder it is to open your heart again. But Gabriel responds firmly, not harsh, but with the authority of someone who stands in the presence of God. "I am Gabriel, and because you didn't believe my words, you won't be able to speak until the child is born." It wasn't punishment as much as it was a sign, something physical, something undeniable, to remind Zachariah that God's promise didn't depend on his confidence. It would happen anyway. Meanwhile, outside the temple, the people are waiting, and they start whispering, "Why is Zachariah taking so long?" Then he comes out, speechless, literally, trying to gesture, trying to explain, but no words come out. And the people realize something divine has happened. Months pass, and as Gabriel said, Elizabeth becomes pregnant. Joy enters a household that had grown quiet with age. And Zachariah, he spends those months in silence, but maybe it was a different kind of silence from what he expected. Not emptiness, not the silence of unanswered prayer, but the silence of watching God work, even after he struggled to believe. When the baby, John, who would one day prepare the way for Jesus, is finally born, Zachariah's voice returns. And the first thing he does isn't question, he praises. His doubt didn't disqualify him. His fear didn't change God's plan. God worked through him anyway. And that's why this story still speaks today. Because most of us know what it is like to want to believe something good but quietly think, maybe it's too late. Maybe it's too big. Maybe I missed my chance. Zachariah reminds us that God isn't intimidated by our doubts. He meets us inside them. And sometimes the very place where belief feels hardest becomes the place where hope finally breaks through.